and welcome to the first demonstration for the memory box video 1. Right now I'm going to show you how to start to make your lid and how to start to make all your walls and the base of your project. I'm going to show you how to make it, I'm going to show you that you need to cut it out, and then video 2 will be assembling the project. So first of all, I'm going to be making a turtle memory box. As you can see, I printed up this image and I cut it out so I could just quickly trace it over. This is a design class, so you're learning how to build. If you'd like to print an image, use it as a reference and trace it over to your cardboard, that's absolutely fine. Make sure you come to class prepared with your printer. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is, I have my blank piece of cardboard. First of all, I'm going to trace my shape. So I would recommend using pencil. I'm using Sharpie, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing in the video. All right, so I'm tracing this shape over. The Sharpie's almost done. Okay. Also, as a reminder, your memory box is going to need to have windows. So as you could see, there was a fun pattern in my turtle that I chose to use. I will be transferring over those designs and cutting that out as well. When I am done cutting everything out, I am going to ask the teacher if I can use an X-Acto knife and cut out those windows. You can't really cut those windows out with a pair of scissors. It's a little difficult, so just come up and ask. All right, so I have my turtle, and all I did was trace that shape. Oh. All right. So one thing is, step 1, I have my shape, I traced them over. Step 2 for this is, if you have a odd shape such as arms, or you're doing a face with a bunch of strands of hair, I would recommend giving yourself a halo. The reason we're giving ourselves a halo is because when you have really difficult shapes for the base as well as the top, it's really hard to get them to line up. So for example, my little turtle has arms and legs. I'm gonna give myself a halo 1 to demonstrate how this is done, and 2 to make a simpler shape so that my memory box fits together nicely. So what I'm doing is I'm going around my turtle and I'm giving him a little halo. And before you freak out and think that I'm completely making you change your design, I would like to let you know that you are the designer, you're the artist. I'm not changing the original shape of my turtle. So for example, I will have my windows cut out. I still have my turtle, but what I can do in this extra space is I could paint it blue as if my turtle's in the ocean. I could get some glue and lay some sand down as if my turtle's laying on the beach. This is just additional space for you to design as well as paint or whatever you'd like to do. It doesn't take away from the detail of your turtle, but it does make it easier that you can create a lid that'll fit onto the base of your project. So I would recommend, if you have a difficult shape, to make a halo. If you're using a simple shape, for example, like a Dragon Ball, right? And the stars are gonna be your windows, that's already a simple shape. That's already a circle. You do not need to provide yourself a halo. This is for more difficult shapes. So, just to recap, step 1, I traced my shape over. Step 2, I created a halo. Step 3 is I'm going to make 3 3-inch walls. The reason I am making 3-inch walls is because I'm going to have the base of my project and 3-inch walls to start the bottom of my memory box. So I have our 3-inch stencil here. What I'm going to do is use this stencil, measure it out and create one measurement, slide it over, right? 3-inch measurement, and create a second line. The reason I'm doing 2 is because if I only do 1, it's really easy to get off centered and get it crooked. So just like woodshop, measure twice, draw once. So I measured it twice. I'm gonna line my ruler up with it, and I'm gonna connect those. So this will be one of my 3 3-inch walls. So I'm gonna write this out for you to make it easier. 1 is to draw your shape. 2 is to draw your halo. 1, shape. 2, halo. My step 3, oh, that's not a 3. My step 3 is to create 3 at 3-inch walls. so my step 3 is to make 3 3-inch walls. So I'm gonna finish my second 2 and I'll come right back. Alrighty, so now I'm back. I have my 3 3-inch walls. I explained earlier that the base of my project is gonna have 3-inch walls. Well, I also need walls for my lid, therefore it's a nice clean fit. So what I'm going to do is to create 3 2-inch walls. And before you freak out, I do have the 2-inch measurement for you. So you could just do the same exact process and create 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna measure out my 2 inches. Okay. 2. Using my stencil, I have created my measurements, and then using my long ruler, I am going to connect those lines and create a straight. My Sharpie's dying. I hope you could still see it. All right, so my 4th step was to create 3 at 2 inches walls. So my step 3 was to create 3 at 3 inches, and my step 4 is to create 3 at 2 inches. So last but not least, I am ready for step 5, okay, which is to cut everything out, right? And then my last step, step 6, is to create my bottom. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna cut everything out, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to make the bottom. So you'll be fully prepared for our video 2, which is gonna be assembling your memory box. Alrighty, so just to go run through the process again. Step 1 was to transfer my shape over. Not only did I transfer my shape over, I drew my windows in and I cut them out using an X-Acto knife. Step 2 was to draw my halo. As you can see, there's a halo floating around this turtle. Step 3 was to create 3 3-inch walls. So I have my 3-inch walls. Step 4 was to create 3 2-inch walls. So you can see how that'll be a nice fit. Once my lid and my base come together, there will be a little overlap, but it'll be tucked in so it'll be nice and secure, and hopefully my lid won't slide around. And step 4 was, to make the 3 2-inch walls. Step 5 was to cut everything out. As you can see, I've already done that. And step 6 is to create my bottom. So I have an extra piece of cardboard here. Creating your bottom is a little simpler than you think. So what I'm gonna do first to make my bottom is I'm going to transfer over the top shape. I wanna get it as close as I can to make sure that it is the same shape. I also got a new Sharpie, so hopefully you could see it. So I'm transferring that over to my cardboard. All right, so I transferred the top shape over to my new piece of cardboard. I got a new Sharpie, so hopefully you can see it. As you can see, my turtle fits right inside. I do not need to transfer the windows over, as my bottom I do want to be solid. So, let me stand them up for you. I have my shape, right? My top matches the bottom. You are going to draw a halo inside this shape. The reason is you need your base smaller and the top larger so they fit comfortably together. However, if they're the same size, once you assemble your walls, they're not gonna fit together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in a halo, and it's gonna be pretty small, really just to kind of compensate for the size of the cardboard. So I'm drawing my halo in. I will show you once it's done. All right, so I just brought this in about the width of a cardboard, of a piece of cardboard. Okay, so the black is the top of my shape. The purple is the small halo that I'm gonna use as the base of my shape. So once I cut this out, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I cut this out now. So I do have the top of my project, and I do have the base of my project. As you can see, the base of my project is just a little bit smaller than the top. The reason it is so my top can fit comfortably over my bottom without having any design issues. So that's why we created the halo, and I cut that out. All right, so I have my top and I have my bottom. Once you have the bottom and you have your 3-inch walls, then we have your 2-inch walls, as well as the top. You are now ready for the next step, which is assembling your project. As a quick recap for this video, I would like to address the steps again. So step 1 was to trace your shape over. Step 2 was to draw the halo around your shape if you had a difficult shape to make it simpler for the designing. Step 3 was to make 3 walls at 3 inches. This is going to be the walls that you're going to attach to the base of your project. Step 4 was to create at least 3 walls at 2 inches. This is going to be the lip that we're going to add to the top to make sure that it fits consistent and evenly. Step 5 was to cut everything out. And last but not least, step 6 was to trace your lid again on your cardboard and to create an interior halo to create a smaller base.